Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of FYI Talks, Decoding Ideas.
A series about learning from experiences and insights of the people behind the most unique ideas.
Today, we have with us Uttam Gupta, a founding member of GrowthSchool. GrowthSchool is a community-led live learning platform which has recently raised 5 million in a funding round led by Sequoia Capital India, Owl Ventures, and 80 plus angel investors.
Also, guys, don't forget to watch the video till the end for a super fun game with a very special twist. So let's get started. Uttam, the first question that we want to ask you is what exactly is Growth School? And also, what was the motivation and the story behind starting Growth School?
So GrowthSchool is a platform where we partner with top 1% of the professionals to teach real and practical skills that actually help you in career and professional and personal growth. And the reason why we started, or the motivation for that, let me quickly tell you the problem that we are solving, right? So the problem that we saw with the education system, you guys will be able to relate that when you go through the like traditional education, you don't develop practical skills, right? And even after you spend so many years of your life, when you enter in your job, you're not ready for that. That is a problem with the traditional education system. Now there were solutions in the online education, right? There was Udemy, there was Coursera. Then why did we come even, right? But the problem with those MOOC, these are MOOC platforms, MOOC platforms. The problem with them is that there are very low completion rate. Like, how many of you have taken any Udemy or Coursera course? Have you taken any?
I have, yeah.
Did you completed all of them?
Not really, no.
Definitely not.
Exactly. That is the problem, that the completion rates in these platform in the online education is very, very, very low, right? And it's not fun, it's not engaging, and that's not how humans learn, right? That's when Growth School came in, where we build cohort-based courses, right? And the USP, or the differentiating factor, or how we actually do is we solve three things. We do three things that actually differentiates us. One is the problem that we are solving is the problem of access. Like, even if you learn, there is a lot of good material available on YouTube. There's a lot of good material available on Udemy or Coursera as well. But if you're learning through them, if you're learning yourself, if you face any challenges, if you have any hurdles, who you will reach out to? You don't have access to that person, right? So that is what we are solving through our programs. You get chance to interact, ask questions on live with the mentors.
Right.
That is one. Access. The other problem is focus on practical learnings that I've been repeating. And the third thing is the community, because as you said, you have not completed any program. Not everyone completes Udemy and Coursera programs because you are doing it alone. That's not how we learn. How we learned in college, we didn't just learn from our teachers, we learned from our peers. We learned more than like that from our, like, we learned more from our seniors and our alumni, right? That's how we learn. When you are surrounded by like-minded people, things become a lot easier. You are more motivated to do things. So that's how we are solving with community. Community is the heart of all our programs, like everything. So those three things actually make the online education so much engaging, so much meaningful, so much practical.
The next question is that what is Growth School's role in the content that you design?
So let me tell you, in Udemy or Coursera, basically how it happens, it is a DIY platform where mentors, if you want to create a course, you will do everything on your own. They just give you the tech, they just give you the product, use it, they give you the visibility, right? But in Growth School, we do everything. And the mentor or the instructor does just one thing in which he is best at. That is teaching. That is knowing that subject and teaching.
Okay, so do you play a role in the content that the particular teacher is teaching? Suppose it's a course on cryptocurrency. You give the topic, include this as well, or how does Growth School help in that context?
So it's involvement. We also help. It's not just about the mentor, because a lot of times what happens, you are really good in something, but you don't know how to teach. Not everyone who is a subject matter expert is not a good teacher, right? So they need some support in that as well. Once we give them the skeleton, they understand, oh yeah, this can also be covered, this can also be taught. So we also help in designing the curriculum and also running the show.
Uttam, next question is, so for a long time, we know that Growth School was in the stealth mode.
Yeah.
Were there any pilot projects that were conducting during the stealth mode? Or did you actually start running the courses and the programs after launching it fully?
No. So we were in a stealth mode for a reason. And let me tell you how much we did in a stealth mode. We wanted to make sure that the solution we have come up with, the problem that we have recognized, we wanted to validate that the solution that we have come up with is actually a solution. Then only we will tell to the whole world that we are doing this. So that was the idea. That's why we remained for an year in stealth. We did a lot of things during that. As I told you, the first intention why we remained in stealth was to validate our solution. Now, in our case, in our business, every program is a product in itself. What happens in other programs that you build something, you build an MVP, you validate, and you then just scale. But in our case, what was that every program is a product in itself because it is in different category. You need to validate if it is working or not. So during that time, we did multiple programs just to test if our solution is actually working with every subject, with every topic, with multiple mentors or not. Because we had to scale. We had to make it a business and a tech business, then we had to test with multiple mentors and multiple subjects. So we did a lot of experiments. Very few failed, but there were a lot of learning. We playbooked, we learned a lot of things. And after that, when we were super clear with everything that we had done, that's when we announced that, okay, yeah.
After a very short span of time, what we realized was that Growth School started gaining a lot of popularity. There were a lot of followers on for Growth School across the social media. So what was the marketing strategy behind getting building a great community in such a short span of time?
Yeah. So the secret of building a community is one thing. And you also talked about following on social media.
Yeah.
One thing that we did, we didn't even focus on social media. Like till the launch, there was zero post on our Instagram page. And one random person even once made a LinkedIn post that there is some brand. They put the screenshot and they said, this brand has 5,000 plus followers and they are claiming that they are teaching something, but they don't have any posts. Seems like a scam. Why we didn't focus on social media was a lot of time this is the mistake which a lot of startups, which a lot of founders commit, is they focus on a lot of superficial stuff, which is making a beautiful website, putting a lot of content on social media, which is important. I'm not saying it is not important, but it is not actually driving revenue, right? So what we basically did, we majorly focused on our business. We majorly focused on learning experience, how we build a community, how we deliver learning experience, how we build more programs. These were the main things of our business.
Right. Understood. Also, Uttam, we forgot one most important thing, which is to congratulate you on getting the 5 million funding. So
thank you so much.
Now that you've got that funding, what are the future plans for Growth School? Like we've seen on your website कि अभी आप लोग जो है B2C पे ही focus कर रहे हो. So are there any plans on expanding into B2B as well?
Not yet. We want to firstly double down and scale on our B2C side, but simultaneously, a lot of times we get inbound requests for B2B. That we do, but we don't focus. Our focus is not B2B right now, right? And the other thing you asked was what we will do with this money. It's a lot of money, so we will build a product. So how we built this business was in a very lean approach. The first thing people do is make a website, make a social media page, and then is the app. Right? We don't have an app. We didn't focus on social media. And if you look at our first website, till the time we had even launched, it looked shit. There was nothing. It was just a placeholder with just banners of our program. We didn't focus on neither of these things, right? So now we used a lot of no-code tools, WordPress, Webflow, and a lot of mini tools to do multiple things, to ask questions, to do this, to do that, Google Forms, and all of those things. Multiple jugadu kam, right? In a lean approach. But now the idea is to use this money to build a product so that the experience is intact, experience is enhanced. So we'll invest a lot of money in the team and the product.
The next question, Uttam, is, so we are very curious about why Growth School has chosen a .io domain. So what we have, what we have usually seen is that the tech companies, let's say SaaS companies or, companies which are majorly involved, majorly offering tech solutions, choose either an .io domain or .ai domain. So why did Growth School choose a .io domain? And also, if you have knowledge on this aspect, can you also, simplify it for our viewers that why is it that tech companies prefer .io over .com?
The reason why we chose .io was because we didn't have .com. As simple as that.
So what does that mean that you didn't have .com?
That means .com was already taken by someone else.
Okay,
all right.
So if you go right now on growthschool.com, it is a Chinese or a Japanese website. It also hosts some programs on growth hacking. It's very weird, but it is inactive. So, and the reason why a lot of companies today choose .com and .ai is because of the same reason you mentioned. It's automatically signifies that that business is in tech, that business is having a tech product. That is one. Also, I've heard that usually .io means input and output, but it is also referred as internet organization. So to refer that, same, like you are into tech, you are into internet, people use that. And also for startups, why they choose is because it's cheap, it's easier to get.
Uttam, moving on, the next set of questions that we will ask you are, more about your personal life and your personal growth. My question is, we have seen you in college and you have changed a lot, definitely for good. How did you network so well outside college? We know, one day suddenly we see that, you're meeting Jay Shetty, then you start working with Vaibhav. Now you're here at Growth School doing so well. And also you are a very strong marketing professional, a strong LinkedIn presence. So how did all of this happen? We want to know the story behind this.
Initially, like as I said, GrowthSchool is very personal. The problem that we are solving is also very personal. After spending 15 years in schooling, when I went to college, I was not confident, right? And that's why in first year I did a bunch of things, everything under the sun that was possible to explore, just to figure out. Because in first year I also wanted to become a CA. And then I chose, okay, no, I don't want to go into finance. Then the option that was left was management consulting. So I thought, okay, then I started learning about management consulting by the end of first year. And simultaneously, I was doing social media marketing, content development, designing, editing, kind of like already doing marketing stuff. And that was kind of A/B testing for me. And that made me realize that I'm enjoying what I'm doing in the field of marketing. So that helped me make the decision. And one thing that has led me to do everything like so far, and I hope it will continue, is my curiosity and willingness to learn. Like even in the first year of my college itself, after every event, after every speaking event, I used to go to the speaker just to ask questions, just to meet him, just to know his story. Right. And then when that happened, that I had chosen that I want to go into marketing, I had to find another solution to get opportunities for me, because I knew that I won't get from college. That's when I started my LinkedIn journey. That's when I started connecting with a lot of people at a scale. In the last 2 years, I've gained so much experience that I genuinely feel I have like come 3-4 years ahead in my career.
That's so nice to hear.
Focus a little bit more on how you met Jay Shetty, because that's something that both of us are, very curious about.
Yeah. So again, it boils down to one thing: curiosity. I really wanted to. I was following him when I was in school. I was very inspired because he's a charismatic speaker. I love how he speaks and what he speaks. So I really wanted to meet him. And then I used to hear a lot of speeches of him. I figured out that he had stayed 3 years in India while he was a monk. I did a lot of things and I got to know where he stayed. And then what I did was this, no one knows. So in the first year after the first year in summer break, I mailed them that I want to live there with the monks, and they didn't respond. I sent the mail again. They didn't respond. I sent the mail again. That was my consistency. I sent the mail again. So they thought, okay, a monk read the email. In the reception, the mail was going to the reception. The monk read the email and thought, who is this guy? Like, who's this boy who is so persistent? He rang me a call. He asked me, okay, he tried to understand who I am, what do I do. He liked my nature. And he said, we can't bring you here. When Jay stayed here, the times were different, but now it is not possible. I said, okay. But then after a few days, he called that, okay, it's possible to bring you for a month or so. I said, that's amazing. That also was a difficult decision to choose between doing an internship or going there. I took that risk. I went there. That was my first solo trip. And after that, I had developed a really good relation with the monks there, where I went. They became my friends. And then I came. I didn't meet Jay that time. I came back. Then next time in December 2019, Jay was coming to India in the same place. And called that, Uttam, Jay is coming. Would you like to come? I said, obviously. Went 10 days before he came, stayed there. He came, spent time with him. Very grateful I had the opportunity to spend a day with him. really good friend. I have his number. I also talked to him a couple of times. So that's how I met Jay Shetty. Now comes the other question: how did I met Vaibhav? How did I start working with him? And that is very interesting, and it was a coincidence. And like when the lockdown started, Vaibhav started his LinkedIn workshop because he was bored. He wanted to do something inside. He's a complete hustler, so he wanted to do something when he was bored at home. So he started LinkedIn workshop. I was already following him, right? And I saw his ad on in the first workshop. On day one, I registered, and he did that first workshop with 200 people. And I was there, and till that time, he had nothing figured out for LinkedIn workshop. And on day 3 of the workshop, I remember it was April 23rd, right? On day 3 of the workshop, in one of the live, he said that someone said, well, why don't you give certificate for the workshop? I said, but it's a lot of time taking process and I'm doing it alone. It would be difficult to do it for 200 people. Now, that's where my exploration held me. In first year, I was doing designing, editing, event management, all of those things without having any clue how this is going to help me in my career. Just I was doing it. And when Vaibhav said that thing, I knew in Photoshop how to make certificates in bulk because I had done Photoshop. In the comments, I said, I can do that for you. He said, that would be great. Just ping me. And instead of just texting him, this is how you can do, with the intention of genuinely helping him, I made a complete video kind of tutorial and sent him, this is how you can do it. And if you need help to do, let me know, I can do that as well. Just that. Right. And he got impressed. He saw that video at 2 a.m. in night. He's a night owl. The next message was, would you like to work with me? And an interesting fact before that was, it happened in April. And few months before that, what had happened, one of my seniors had sent me a link when Vaibhav was in Klook, and Klook was offering an internship. Vaibhav had posted about the same. I couldn't apply to that internship. I really wanted to because I wanted to work with Vaibhav. I wanted to learn, but I couldn't. And then it happened. Vaibhav himself asked me. So it was like a full circle.
All right.
Got it.
So the next question is that as a marketing professional, you must get some negative customer feedback, correct? So how do you deal with that?
Firstly, when you get feedback, you need to understand the first response when we hear criticism, when we hear negative feedback, is we get aggressive or we get offended, right? That is the first reaction. But instead, the first thing you should think is that that person is actually having some problem. That's why he's responding. That is the first realization, having empathy. कि भाई उसको कुछ problem है तभी वो बोल रहा है, right? So that you don't get aggressive. So that is the first thing. Understand that person is actually having a problem and why he can't question. He has paid you, right? He has given hard-earned money to you. Why can't he question you? So first thing is realizing that. And after that, how we do it, how we have done is that listen to them, try to help them. They're having a problem. How you deal with any issues, any negative feedback is by dealing with it and working on it. So there have been times where I have come on a call with people to just solve and just to hear their rant. So the best thing is firstly have some empathy. And the second thing is try to help them in the best possible, which is good for your business and for them as well.
Very well said, Uttam. So on this positive note, we would like to, start with the short game that we've prepared. Are you ready?
Nervous? Go for it. Yeah.
All right. The first question is, would you rather take a leave for a week from LinkedIn or from GrowthSchool?
From GrowthSchool. Okay. Then I will
Next
be able
question.
to work on LinkedIn.
Next question is, would you rather create a user experience for your customer, or would you rather create a user experience that aligns with your brand guidelines?
With the customer, with the learner.
Would you rather create valuable content for your audience or content that gets a lot of views?
It has to be a mix of both. To actually grow
you have
also.
You have to choose one.
Value.
Would you rather focus on retaining the current customers, or would you focus on getting new customers?
Retention.
Would you rather get more...
Acquisition is costly.
Would you rather get more views through organic search or get more views through paid ads?
For sure, organic. No money is spent on organic.
Would you rather increase the supporters of your content or increase merely the number of followers?
Supporters. For
Would
sure.
you lose all your contacts and connections or go broke?
Go broke.
Wow.
Power of networking.
Yes.
Hope this video was helpful. Keep watching our videos to learn more such unique ideas. क्योंकि
सीखना बंद तो जीतना बंद.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends.
Thank you.